Hey guys, today I'll be giving a demonstration on how to set up a DNS server on Windows Server 2008. So let us begin. The first thing we want to do is go into our service manager, which already have open, or we can go into the start menu and you can select the server manager. The next thing we want to do is add rows by selecting rows and right clicking on add rows, or you can simply select it to the right if we desire. So when we select add rows, we'll be given this wizard. We'll hit next, and I want to add a DNS server by selecting the checkbox, and I'll hit next. Here it gives us an introduction to what a DNS server does and some of the functions and features it performs, but I'll hit next. And here it basically prompts us if we want to install our DNS server, which I'll install. This installation tends to take a couple of minutes, so I'll wait for its completion and then I'll return. Okay, so we have completed the installation of our DNS server, and I now want to hit the close button. Okay, we want to go into roles, and here we can see our DNS server. I'll hit the drop down, but there is nothing. So what we want to do is select the DNS server, and here we can get some information on the DNS server. It gives a description and some resources and support, and it gives us what we have enabled and disabled. Okay, so we want to close this after. And we want to go into the start menu and go into administrative tools, and we want to select the DNS server, which will now be available. Having logged on to the DNS manager, we'll be now given the options of 4 folders, but we'll be using the forward lookup zone and the reverse lookup zone in this video. Okay. So the first thing we want to do in the forward lookup zone is select it and right click, and we want to be creating a new zone, and we'll be given this wizard. We want to hit next, and I want to leave the default primary zone, which creates a copy of the zone that can be updated directly on the server. I'll hit next, and I want to leave basically the default settings as I go along. So this radio button I've selected is basically to all the servers on this domain, which is Hassan.com, which is server is already a part of, and I hit next, and I want to create the zone name. For this zone name, I'll be using back our same domain name, which is Hassan.com, and I'll hit next, and you are given 3 options now. Allow only secure dynamic updates, and this is recommended for the Active Directory. The second option is allowed both non-secure and secure dynamic updates, and we are given a third option, which is basically do not allow any dynamic updates. For this video, I'll be using the default setting, which basically allows us to only use secure dynamic updates, and I'll hit next. And we're given a summary of all that we have just done in the wizard. We have created this forward lookup zone, and I'll hit finish. It basically says the zone already exists. That is why it won't go through, so I'll just cancel this as the zone already exists, and it's okay. But basically, if the zone did not exist, we could have just clicked finish and it would have been created. As you can see here, the Hassan.com has already been created and is running. So what we want to do now is select the reverse lookup zone and right click, and we also want to add a new zone, and we'll go to the wizard and hit next, and basically we'll be selecting the same default settings as we previously did. Next. In this case, I'll be using the IP version for reverse lookup zone and not the IP version 6. We're required to enter the network address here, which is 192.168.0. We are only allowed to enter the 3 octets and not the 4th. So basically, we'll leave this as is and hit next. And I want to select only allow secure dynamic updates. It was previously used in the first forward lookup zone. I'll hit next, and we're then given a summary once again, and I'll hit finish. As we can see, the reverse lookup zone has been created. You can double click and you can see the start of authority, and we're given a server with Hassan.com, which is the host master, and the timestamp is static. Okay, I'll just minimize this. Okay, so we have now completed setting up both the forward and the reverse lookup zone. So what we want to do is select the zone which we have created in the forward lookup and right click, and we want to select new host A or AAA, and we can basically map onto this, which I'll select the server name, which is actually server, and I want to enter the IP address, which is 192.168.0.1, and I want to create an associated pointer which will actually create the reverse lookup automatically for us, and I'll hit add host, and we can see the host record has been successfully created. I'll hit OK and I'll hit done. As you can see here, the server host name is AA has been created, and in order to see reverse lookup, we go into the reverse lookup and we refresh the page. As we can see, the PRT pointer has also been created. And this has been my video on DNS server. Thanks for watching.